All right, mic check, mic check. Morning Masters Podcast, your host, man, of course. I got a special guest across from me. I got TYRUS Tillman in the building. How you doing, man?
Let's go. I'm good. How about you?
Hey, I can't complain, man. I'm chilling. How you been?
Listen, life has been lifing, and I'm enjoying every moment of it.
That's what's up, man. Last time we talked was about 2 years ago. Was it? It was during
I
COVID.
feel like it was last year. It wasn't 2022.
Nah, not
The
last
very
year.
first time would have been 21, probably.
That's what it was then. Yeah, 2021.
Uh-huh.
That was a real good episode. People received that very, very, very well.
Yeah, I still go back and watch it every now and then.
I do that too. I do. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
I think people got to see a different side of you and then knowing your story.
Right.
Because like I said, I hate to use this word because it comes with so many negative connotations, but you're a popular person.
Yeah. You was going to say funny?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. You funny too, though.
Nah,
You funny too.
He calling me sweet.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, no more. Nah, I'm playing.
Right.
I'm just joking. But it just, negative stuff come with that because they think that things that you earn are
It's
given
just
to
been
you
handed
based
to
off
you. Yeah.
popularity. But you actually put a lot of work into everything you're doing, whether it's the singing, the comedy,
Right.
And just branding yourself. Like right now, you got your shirt on. Like I was telling you, like people come up here sometimes and they have shirts.
Right.
They won't wear them.
Yeah.
They wearing some other stuff. So,
But that's how you reach the people that don't know you. Because people are always wanting to know, hey, what's that? What's going on with that? Yeah, what do you do with that?
100%.
Yeah.
Trying to say where we can start. Well, I want to start this. Let's start there. So it's not. I don't want to start necessarily negative, but I do want to get that out the way just to kind of get them a picture of who you are. Not that they'll know you, right?
Right.
But but anyway, you've since I've interviewed you last, you've won. I think they had SBAs twice in a row.
Yes.
2 years in a row.
Yes.
And talk about what you've won because you won a lot of awards the first year.
So first year I won 3. So I won Comedian of the Year, Host of the Year, and Male Entertainer of the Year. This
That's
year,
like stripping or something.
Kinda, but they didn't know that. So it was just. So it's just like all encompassing of entertaining. So I think that came from not only just comedy but hosting and emceeing and just being that guy all around, like
Gotcha.
just a full entertainer. So they kind of dropped that award this year. And so I got Comedian of the Year and
They didn't want you to win too many. That's what it was.
That's what it was. And then I also host the event. So
Gotcha.
me alongside comedian Ponsier, who's doing amazing and great things, and I absolutely love her and her energy. So we have now hosted 2 years in a row, and we're looking towards year 3.
So talk about that for a minute. I don't want to skip past the award show. I haven't talked about it in depth ever. Talk about hosting that as well as being nominated for things. So what did that feel like when you have to host, but you also nominated for some things?
So it's mixed emotions because the community can be rough on those who win awards, right? The very first year, the SBA, anybody could nominate someone, right? So it was just random peers could nominate you, your customers, your followers, your supporters, whatever, or you could self-nominate as well, right? That didn't go over well, obviously, with a lot of people. They felt like it was a popularity thing and only the well-known names made it to the ballot, which honestly was not the case. So Jamie decided to do things a little different for 23. And she allowed people to self-nominate. So if you wanted to be on the ballot, if you felt worthy of the ballot, or even if you just wanted to see your name on the ballot, you had the opportunity to kind of present yourself.
It's not funny.
Put your own name on there.
Just wanting to see your name on there is funny to me.
If you because hey, let's keep it all the way a buck. Some people just need that validation. So if you needed that validation, and you felt like you weren't getting it in these streets, because you being booked and not able to book other people, they needed to be able to kind of put themselves on that platform and on that stage. And so they had an opportunity to do that. A lot of people took advantage of that and some still didn't, but it made it more of, if you say you deserve this, put your name on there. Let's see.
I often say too, like with something like that, like you can have your mixed emotions about award shows and about the city and all of that. But one thing I can say is, you start to it's like a networking thing too. You start to know.
Oh, absolutely.
It might be a section there or a nominee there or a subject there where you didn't know those people. Right. I might knew one person did locks, but I'm like, oh, damn, 7 nominees.
Exactly.
Who the other 6 people?
Yeah. Same.
It's just awareness. So winning or not, it's like whatever, And you want to win. I mean, naturally, I don't care what nobody say. If you win a nomination, you kind of want to win. Nobody wants to I want to lose that one. Nobody thinks that way.
Next time, put my name on there, but I know I ain't getting this. Yeah,
it's like I'm okay with it. Nobody's okay with that, but the reality of it is, it's a voting thing. So people like to say, well, popularity. But let's just say,
Yeah.
let's throw numbers out. Let's
Yeah.
say 500 people.
Mm-hmm.
People already know they're gonna vote for let's say for you for this category, whatever
Yeah.
it can be. And then you see the numbers, and sometimes it's not even that.
Right.
It don't be that.
Yeah.
People understand with, I think, popularity, a lot of times it comes with a lot of envy as well.
Mm-hmm.
So people will vote for you, will not vote for you.
Yeah, because they know who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
and so that door swings both ways. And I've always been this type of person where, like you said, of course I want to win, right? I don't do anything in this community just because it needs to be done. And I think that I might be one of the few people that will admit that, right? We do what we do because, for one, we do care about why we're doing it, the people that we're doing it for, and this, that, and the third. But at the same time, that's who I want to be known as. I want to be known as someone who's going to get it done, who's going to do for other people, that have a heart for people and whatever. And while I don't need the recognition every time I do something, I want people to know that's who I am. I'm fighting every day for my brand. I'm fighting every day, building my legacy. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, even the goodwill that we do in this community, we want people to know we're doing that. And if somebody is telling you, hey, I don't care if I don't never get credit for anything I do, you're a liar. Stop it. Stop, Stanley. You're a liar. You do want the recognition, even if that's not the praise, because I don't need the praise, right? But I want recognition that this is who TYRUS is. This is what I do. I make people laugh. I get the community to rally behind a kid that works at Sonic's who did a good deed and raised him $800. You know what I'm saying? Like I help families bury their loved ones because they, saw more value in Jordans than burials. I probably shouldn't say that, but you know what I'm saying? So like I'm that. I want to be that guy that people can say I'm resourceful, but I care about my community. So yes, you want the recognition, and that's okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's how you use that. And so you're right when it comes to nominating, either yourself or your peers. When you're in a category, you want to win. Like if not, you could, withdraw your name if you really just didn't want it. Like you could take yourself out. Be that guy. Lead by example.
Well, speaking of the SBAs in general. Talk about year 1 to year 2, the differences you saw, and the pros, the cons, anything about that you liked.
Year 1, great turnout, right? We were at the Shelley Jones Legacy Center out in South Augusta, Tobacco Road. Definitely filled to capacity. A lot of bosses in the building. But I think that a lot of people didn't really come out who weren't like nominated. So you didn't have as many people there that wasn't in a category.
Right.
Whereas this year it was out in Columbia County at the exhibition center. And so you had way more people that was in attendance that wasn't necessarily, in a category or whatever. They just wanted to come. They just want to be a part of that. They wanted that vibe. They want to, cash in on that energy that was in the building and networking, because let's not lose sight of, you have some really big names in that building that does a lot throughout the community, not just in business, but social services and things of that nature. And so I think that people really tapped into, let me be a part of this. I just want to come and be there. So the energy, the vibe was definitely different. It's been lit the first the 2 years that we've had it. Like it's everything. Like it's a whole movie, really. But Jamie incorporated some other parts and components this year that she didn't in the first year, for is like, having a red carpet host, Mike Gibson and Tequila. And so they were there and they were awesome and great. It was just bigger. It was definitely bigger. Yeah.
So, but you've seen growth from 1 to 2. So I'm assuming 3 probably be even better. She probably already starting that now.
So yeah, I'm not gonna give out too many details, but sis is working. Like literally that night of the SBA 23, she was right at work. She was texting me, "Hey, what's this date looking like for you in 24?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, we're good. Let's go." Yeah. Like she was dropping deposits and everything. Like, she's definitely business minded, and she's a planner. And she hears the feedback, good and bad. And she takes constructive criticism and puts it into a bigger bag.
I think that's what I like about her the most. I don't know her personally, but I think that just her ability to take constructive criticism, and I've yet to see. Now, you can say what you want to say in private. Yeah. I've yet to see her like just go off on social media. No. Like, some people they go live, they say this, they try to.
She gets her lick back though. And she does it in a completely different way.
I like that.
She
I can respect that.
She takes the negativity. Anytime one of those fake pages is created, she'll take that and use that as a theme for her next discount on her next show or class or whatever, and run up $5,000 real quick. Like that's just who she is. And so I've learned a lot from her in that regard, because I hit back. I'm gonna always get my lick back. I feel like I got social media on my side, like, and Facebook is my baby, but I feel like you hit me, I'm hitting back and we going viral. So, let's go, So, but she definitely is more calculated in her responses. And she sometimes takes that, sometimes the shade and negativity is meant to build you up as well. Like there may be some truth to some of that you don't see from the, the angle that you're viewing your life and yourself in. So she's definitely taught me that. And I think a lot of people can learn from that.
I haven't heard any up until the actual event. Of course, you get the negative stuff because people not nominated and they're trying to figure out the rules, even though the rules were said months in advance or whatever can it be. But I think my only what I would say with that is just the voting process was like super difficult. But I did like the fact that she was working on it as it was going on. She didn't just say, "Oh well," or because she could easily just be like, "Look, you know what? After this,
forget
this person won, this person."
Yeah,
she could. Yeah. But to hear that she was working on it, I gotta commend her. And I think that a lot of times we give out negative feedback, not knowing like what all the work that go into what we doing.
Yeah.
So that could easily happen to anybody. She got like, probably 10 million things she worried about.
And
to
imagine
make sure that
how many
event
messages like she's getting throughout that process.
Different personalities you got to deal with because people getting voted for, so now it's messed up.
Definitely.
So I'm not joking about it. I promise you I'm not. I know I sound funny sometimes, but the 5 people that might have been voting for you, you think that now you lost them because
how many you think it could have been? Like 5, you think?
5
for some people, yeah.
Depending on who you are,
Well, because people be quick to say, "Yeah, I voted for you," but then if we could see the raw data, you'd be like,
"Yeah, man." That's why I was screenshotting like going along. Hey, and for me, I'm not gonna lie. See, I'm not a switch side person. Like, it's certain people I know I'm voting for anyway.
Yeah,
and it's not because they're popular. Just because I naturally think that in that field they're better.
Deserve it. Yeah.
Or I see their work, and it could be the voting process. Could be this. It could be the fact that say it's 3 people in that, and I only know 1.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go do research for the other 2.
Yeah,
they should have did a better job making sure who the hell they was.
Let me know who they were. Yeah, you knew that we were about to vote.
But next year I might know about you. You know, I might. I don't know.
Start your campaign early, and then maybe you got a better shot.
But that's what I be trying to like preach to people, like to put in the work. People get so frustrated and mad when I say this. They think I'm like a teacher telling them they're just not good enough. No, I'm not saying that.
But sometimes people need someone to say that to them. They need someone to remind them
that,
me. Listen, because sometimes, I truly believe that some people believe that they've done enough. That
worst kind of people.
I've done enough, and my work is going to speak for itself for the next 50 years. Well, you have to evolve. Like, if I only stuck to the audience that I've had for, the last several years, yes, I've sold out every single event, and I've been able to put bring some other people into the fold.
I'm clapping.
Thank you. I've sold out literally every event, and I've done the work to expand my audience. It's multi-generational, multiracial, all ethnicities and genders even. And I am thankful for that. But I am never at a point I feel that I've just arrived and I've done enough work, because there's still so many people that maybe they don't know me, right? Or maybe not enough people know enough about me. Maybe they've only seen one side of me. And so maybe I need to do more work to kind of show other elements of who I am, because I'm a multifaceted person, you know what I'm saying? So it's not just comedy. Again, that's something that just kind of happened because it's just who I am, you know what I'm saying? But I do love singing, I love hosting and emceeing. It doesn't have to be my event. Just being there, I like to bring that energy and those vibes. So there's some people out there that maybe they don't know every side of me.
Didn't do the work yet.
Like I always need to work at that. But some people feel like they've done enough already, and shame on them because they reap the benefits of that logic, and it doesn't work for them, and they're still mad at the world.
And then you come off as jealous or envious and things like that. It don't. It's not a good look a lot of times when you complain and stuff like that. But you did it year 1, year 2. So year 2, what did you win?
Host of the year and comedian of the year.
And comedian win.
Yeah, we didn't have like entertainer.
Okay. Now host.
So that's why I didn't win it, because it wasn't a category.
That's why you didn't win.
No, just
but you won every category you was in.
Every one that I was in. Yeah.
Oh, did Mike win anything?
Not at the SBA. He won at the following IHA.
Okay, got you. Yeah. And that was a little weird too. Like I didn't.
Yeah, I was nominated for that one, but I honestly, it was one of those things where I saw something about it. Like one day, like I got a message saying, "Hey, you're nominated." I was like, "Oh, cool, right?" Then I didn't really hear anything else or get anything else back from these people, whatever. No shade to them. I don't know them, and so I didn't have really, I don't think a good understanding of who they were. I did go and find like a live after like I think the round of nominations happened.
J.
And I
Paul.
saw a live, from him, and I watched it. And I kind of left feeling like I still don't know who these people are, like what's this about or whatever. Then I didn't hear anything else until I saw that the award show was happening, and then of course I was in Sioux Falls, South Dakota for work then. So I would have loved to have went, but I don't even know how any of that went. I did appreciate the difference though was that afterwards he put like the results.
I like that.
And Jamie even said, she was like, hey, that was great, because I think that was her intentions, but because of the snazu, like she shut the website down. That's really what happened, when you go on a certain route, But anyway, but she said, and we all agreed, like that would definitely, I think, earn more trust in the process. So I definitely saw that and was like, oh yeah, this is good.
And that kind of ties into like my theory with things when you got a city that's, I hate to say small city minded, but that's just that's the reality of it, right? People thinking that it couldn't be two award shows for some reason.
Right.
You got Vibe and you got the BET. You got this and you got that.
Because most of the people that didn't win at the SPA won at the IHA.
So you had two chances. You had to just go hard at the other one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just naturally.
Just saying.
Yeah. And obviously, with SBAs, this being the second go round, it's more wider known in the city.
Right.
So if
More
you
of a
was somebody who
buzz.
didn't win it, you probably had a better chance winning the other one because you could send out to all your friends now, like, hey, look, vote for me.
This is going on.
So yeah, I guess complaining really was kind of weird, but
Yeah.
I said to say, I know him. I don't know him personally, but I did do an interview with him. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
He did. We did one here. I did his show.
Right.
I liked that he did the results, and I think it's dope that iron can sharpen iron. Like where she said that was a good idea, and I'm pretty sure he saw a thing that she did. Like, damn, I need to do that.
Right.
And both can win. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got necessarily know each other personally, but I didn't like the divide of people acting like this was like gang life. Like it was Bloods and Crips.
That's what it felt like.
That was weird.
Yeah. But why?
And it put people like you, I'm gonna say you specifically in a weird space because here you are, you're nominated. So you are, an entity, a brand, multiple things, singer, actor, stripper, comedian, all that type of stuff, right? And then you got, on the other side, they're looking at you like, well, you're also the host, so he must have some kind of stake in this. So he must be on that side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that could also play into like, not saying block and blessing, but stopping things. So whenever you, and
but
I didn't like that.
I genuinely had a concern about that too, is the perception.
Yep.
Because for a lot of people, perception is reality, right? The very first year, I mean, imagine how awkward it is to be standing there passing out awards and, naming winners. And then from the same stage, holding the same mic, to have your co-hosts have to say, oh, you won this times 3. You know what I'm saying? In year 1. And then the same thing to happen in year 2 times 2. You know what I'm saying? Like immediately, and I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck. And I don't think I've even said this publicly, but like I could sense, even for some people that were in the room, their response. Like it looked like a, and so I tried to quickly get through that moment. Like this is just the professional and just my style anyway. But like I grabbed those awards, I shuffled them off to the side. Let's keep it moving. Yeah. All right, next up we have, because I don't want to lose sight of how grand this moment is for us. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's for all of us. But I am the host, so in this capacity, I'm not looking for this grand response. I don't need that. Like, let's keep the show on the road. I was paid to do a job. You get what I'm saying? So like even in that moment, absolutely I appreciated that I won. Like I think I am probably one of the most humblest people that's out there, but it's a win. You get what I'm saying? So, but I had to, in that moment, bottle that up, put that to the side. Let's keep this show on the road. But I saw the response from some people, and even some people who, when we were in the voting stage, they was like, oh, I'm voting for you and good luck. And I'm like, yeah, bitch.
I know, right?
Yeah, like, okay. Let's pose for a camera. They're watching.
And that's the business sometimes.
It
too,
is.
Man. And you learn that as you
is
get
what
along.
it is. Yeah. No hard feelings, because it still went to my house.
So comedian of the year, right? What does that feel like? Back to back, 2 years in a row.
So honestly, it feels like there's way more people that notice what I'm doing than I think is out there. And it sounds cliche, because and I don't say this from a place of cockiness or anything else. But yes, I've sold out every event, but no event has been over 200 people. You get what I'm saying? So,
Gotcha.
so let's think about, how many people it took to actually get me the winner's spot. You get what I'm saying? So like that's way more people than maybe I feel that I've watched or I've reached, right?
Gotcha.
So I have, over 5,000 plus, friends on Facebook. Well, 5,000 friends on Facebook, and then my followers are probably up to like 16K or something like that. To me, that's not a huge. Well, honestly, that's not a huge number. If you think about some of the other comedians that's out there and so forth, like they're doing numbers.
Well, not that was nominated with you, but go ahead. I'm gonna keep it. Hold on, stop me. Retro scratch.
Yeah,
I keep it a buck here. I'm just telling the truth.
Damn, now I gotta fight. But so now I gotta go live tomorrow.
I'm not dissing no comedian. I'm just saying.
But you're right.
The reality of it is 16K is a lot when you compare it to the I'm gonna say the likes of people like me, the people in media.
Yeah.
Like. People got 1 point something, and I'm not dissing them.
And now they even got a verified badge.
Yeah,
to subscribe to.
And I ain't gonna get into that. I don't care if you have a lot of a lot of friends, a lot of followers, and you build it up.
Yeah,
whatever you could build it up. Yeah. You didn't start off with 16K. You got to 16K.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is what it is.
So and that's kind of why in that moment, like comedian of the year to me, like I see comedians that do way more shows and events than I do. To be quite honest, I'm not going to say slacking because there's reasons behind a lot of, why I wait to do some of the things that I do. And, I've been busy in other areas of life.
We won't get into that.
So, but for me, like when I look at that, like there are some that's out there grinding and that I absolutely respect in this game. And there's some that I've not even had a chance to work with. I've had opportunities to, but I've just, I'm so different, I think. That I pick and choose very selectively who and how I work with other people. But I see their work, right? Mm-hmm. And I see what they're doing. And so when I think comedian of the year, I mean, yeah, if you think about it, like this is the grand title, but at the same time, I know that there's a lot of work, left for me to do. Do I think that there's some, that may be more deserving? Absolutely. If they kind of switch up and reach some of the same people that I have.
So you mentioned something that I kind of want to definitely retouch on that. You said, some comedians may do more shows and something like that, right? But I'm real big on, and I think I would say you are too, without even asking you, on quality over quantity. Mm-hmm. So when you talk about the shows you've done being sold out, but you put a lot of work into those shows. That's what all of them, but you put a lot of work into your shows, your craft.
Yeah.
But let's make no mistake. The comedian is even being a comedian right, at this point is multifaceted. So it's not just a stand up.
Right.
It's the stand up.
Yeah.
It's doing skits. Yeah. It's going live, being funny.
Yeah.
It's random posts. Improv, random posts. Mm-hmm. All that stuff intertwined into one.
Yeah.
And
I think that for me, and not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but I think this may kind of explain some of that for me as well. When I go places, when I'm hosting, when I'm emceeing, hell, when I go to sing at a funeral even, right? There's a piece of comedy that comes out that's left with people that I share with people. And so even if they didn't make it to one of my shows or whatever, some people only read my Facebook posts and some people only experience me when I go and host an event, whether it's a birthday party or, hell, a bar mitzvah, anything. Like there's going to be a piece of me that's super funny. And people say, and remember, that was TYRUS Tillman that did that, or that, made me. I remember that night we were at Red Lobster and, he was in there eating by himself and me and a table sitting over to the side and he had us cracking up laughing the whole night. Stuff happens like that.
That's stuff people don't see.
Exactly. And so when you think about those people that now everybody see the SBA now, voting going on and whatever, and it comes across their timeline, we might not even honestly be friends on Facebook, but when they see the name, they remember the experience that they had with me or with anybody. And that's why I feel we have to be cognizant of that as comedians, as hosts, as entrepreneurs in this community like Augusta, because sometimes there's not a lot of opportunities for people to remember back to what you did and how you made them feel, right? But when they see that name, what can they connect to that name? You get what I'm saying? So I think that has definitely worked in my favor.
Yeah, I think when you say experience, I automatically make it synonymous with impact as well.
Yeah.
And not realizing how many people you impact and who you impact.
Yeah.
So it's somebody that voted for you because you impacted them 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It could have been somebody you work with.
Yeah.
You had a lot of jobs, Tyrus.
Yeah.
You worked a lot of places.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Shit,
Like you've been out here, you know what I'm saying? You've been grinding for a long time.
Over 20 jobs.
Grinding for 20. That's 20 different crews. You know,
Yeah.
you break that down like on the scale. That's a lot of people that know who you are
at each of those places. Yeah, and it's funny because even today, I'll be 36 next month.
Damn. No, I'm playing. No.
Shots fired. Canes are blazing. So that's gonna be a gift. So I think that when I look back, I realize sometimes what that really feels like to have been in all those places with so many different people way after the fact when somebody comes up to me and say, I remembered you at so and so, so. And sometimes, to be quite honest, I don't even remember these people. I don't even remember their face sometimes. They're like, we worked together at WOW. And I'm like, yeah, how's everybody doing? They're like, yeah, everybody's good. The family's good. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, good to see you. So did I get in the truck and then somebody be like, you remember the hell no? Like, what? So, but also when I put out a need for something, when I'm doing something for the community or something, people will inbox and say, hey, Tyrus, I want to help in X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, I don't even remember these people, but they're like, I remember when I was doing X, Y, and Z and you helped me. So I get to harvest all that I've done for others sometimes in ways that I have no idea that it's coming my way. Like, I don't even expect that. But you're right. It's because they remember the impact and the experience, even if I don't.
Well, I'm trying to ask this question without like kind of really digging into it. Because I feel like if I skip over it, I wouldn't be me. I have to ask him. We didn't speak about it in depth, but it was something we both had a mini competition about. But I remember, I ain't gonna say his name, but he had a comedian who posted about just comedy, comedy, saying he felt like he was the funniest comedian, and I did thinking a lot about that. I was actually, when you text me that day, I was actually here about to record about that, so I thought it was so funny, and so I ended up talking about it. I went in depth, and I want to say this too. When I was saying the other, it's because I freestyle when I just come and start recording. Yeah, I ain't write nothing down, so I just couldn't. I couldn't remember what it was, and I'm already recording, so I couldn't stop finding what it was. I'm on the ball already, so I wasn't saying it'd be funny. I don't have no stake in none of that stuff. It's just it didn't come to mind. But I know you mentioned sometimes like awards meaning so much to some people, or seeing the name on the ballot, right? Before I get into that, when somebody says, and you can tell how you feel about it, when somebody says, they're the funniest or they might be the best comedian, and I feel like when somebody else wins an award, I just feel like at that point, it's almost like you talking to that person. So it's like if I won MVP of the year. Me. Yeah, it's like something like, I'm the best player in the league. Challenge. It's like, well, that's odd because they just they just said I was. Like back to back,
Thousands of people.
And I don't know the numbers, but you know what I'm saying? You know the numbers.
Right.
And but the people, they like to, and I spoke to him after that, and I think, honestly, no, and not to cape for him, I do think that he probably just, life is funny like that, but you be going through things, I think he might have been going through whatever, and, people want, I guess, instant gratification, some instant, they need this daily love all the time. Yeah. Social media has done that for us now. And that's kind of the dangers of social media. Everybody want instant gratification. Yeah. Even though you won 2 years in a row, you've been doing it for a long time. It's not like you saying I got 16 awards. Right. You probably feel like you've been funnier for that time, but you got 2. Right. Right. That's just the nature of the business. Yeah. What comedy to you? Like, how would you describe what a best comedian is? I guess in the city. I was wondering how. Me personally, I wanted to ask, like, how do you judge that? How do you gauge that then?
I think that, okay, so for individuals,
besides the award, of course.
Yeah, when they start comparing themselves to others that are in the same craft or in the line of craft and work that they're in, how do you gauge who's the better one, right? It's by their supporters. It's by the people that come out to listen, to watch. Do they purchase? Like, you can tell me all day that you support me, but are you spending your money to come see me? Will people only come see me if I have $10 shows and tickets? Will those same people mind spending $30 more and buying a $40 ticket to come see me? Will it be the same size crowd? If I put a VIP ticket in there and say that if you spend $20 more, you get some FaceTime with me. Will they pay that? How many people will pay that? You get what I'm saying? When I look at that list of attendees, is that just going to be family members and close friends, or is it going to be some people that I have no idea who they are and they actually do want to have time with me, like they support me that much, or they are that enthused about meeting me that they would spend money, right? I think that that's how you quantify
I like that word.
how many. I really been waiting to use it all day for real. But to me, that's how you quantify. When you say it, you got to rock your head a little bit, and then squint your eyes. It adds effect.
They can have meaning.
Quantify. But to me, that's how you really gauge. No, I swear, I'm being serious. Okay, this is serious. Stop. Okay, but to me, that's how you compare the differences between, the work that I'm doing. Do people really rock with me, or do they just like that it was a giggle and it was a funny day, right? So I don't know that there's any other way that I can say who's the best other than hearing from the people, right, that I'm presenting my craft to. And so you can throw out any other kind of numbers you want, how many followers you have, and all of these other, numbers that, people often depend on to validate themselves as the best, right? But it really boils down to, how does the people respond? Who's going to be there? Who's really supporting you? How are they supporting you? How many people are sharing your material and stuff like that? So for me, that's really the only way, because to any one person that's doing anything, to them, they should think that they're the best. I would feel some kind of way if someone, was a comedian, a singer, an actor, and didn't think that they were the best.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then we need some substance behind that. We need something to support that, though, to sustain you being the best. Because anybody can say that they are.
A lot of people do.
A lot of people do. And while I understand it, because that's just like any parent. You ask any parent, who's the best child in this class? You're going to say your child, right? Because that's yours. Duh. Even if little, Barbara Ann can't color inside the lines, so what? She's the best artist in this class. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it goes without saying that you should think that high of yourself, right? But then don't get upset when people aren't agreeing with you when you say that. Don't get upset if the numbers aren't really in your favor. When you really break down the numbers and they're not in your favor, don't get upset about that. Find a way to increase that. How do you, be better at being the best? You're the best. Ooh, great. You've arrived. How do you be better? How do you ensure that you stay the best, right? Because every crown, someone's coming for it, period.
Well,
every championship, the next team is battling for it.
You won 2 years in a row.
And, I'm looking forward to number 3.
Yo, you gotta chill.
I'll be here. All right. No, I'm just
speaking of, and that's a perfect segue.
Yeah.
You got a show coming up.
I do.
What, and I want to know what goes into a TYRUS Tillman show. You did one a couple years ago, a year ago. I can't remember. It was
Both.
So
a year
but
ago,
it
but
sold
my
out.
first was 2021. That's when I launched it.
Really upset because you said you filmed it, didn't film it. I'm like, you got all these videographers in the world.
Right. I'm working on it this time around. I promise. I'm leaving some content on the table even.
There you go.
Because I could chop that down and use it in a number of different ways. So that's the goal.
Think about your support and people that just can't make it. You know now I'm one of them because I've seen you talk about it. Like I can't make everything, and I know you're trying to, and it's hard because
I feel so shitty sometimes. Like,
but think about this: you still people that can't make it still want to see it. It's a DVD you can sell. I know nobody do DVDs no more. You might put it on Prime, whatever you want to do. I don't know, but get that production piece. I think that'll be amazing. But aside from that, what goes into a TYRUS Tillman show? Like, how do you prepare for it? You're a comedian now. You're a full-blown comedian. You know what I'm saying?
So for me, it depends on where I am in life because that's what fuels when I have shows and what my shows are about. I think I shared this a while ago. I don't write down my content. Like, I don't write it out. I don't plan it out. It's always from the dome.
So time out. So you go into a show. So you solo. You kind of just you feed off energy.
Yeah, always. I've done that at every single show.
Do you have stuff in your head? Like, maybe I'm going to start off with this, or you just like...
The only thing is that a lot of my comedy is real life.
So you have talking points, but you don't have no jokes written down. Like,
ooh, I had the bubble guts last week. I'm going to talk about that tonight. I don't know how I'm going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But I know I'm going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes I'll go in saying or remembering something that happened, and then I forget to talk about it, or I run out of time, or one thing that I didn't think was gonna, really be a hit becomes a hit, and then it goes on for 10, 15 minutes, and then I don't have time, what I'm saying, to talk about anything else. So I never really go into this like really mapping out and planning out the whole show, right? I know about what it's going to be about because of where I am in life at that time. And honestly, the shows that I've had have been just that, and I've been successful at that model.
Well, talk about the pros and cons of that, because I know a lot of comedians. I talked to some comedians, and when I talk about, we have this. I'm not gonna. I'm calling this. Nobody else calls this. It's just me. I promise you. I'm calling it this. I shouldn't even say that now, but I committed now. I committed. We have this hashtag. Take TYRUS Award next year. You know what I'm saying? The conversation, right?
Let's go.
It's like,
I want to see that, by the way. Yeah, can we get that out there ASAP? I want that. Like, I need that. Might help me sell some more tickets.
Oh my God!
VIP at that.
So. And you do your kind of your own production, so to speak.
One man show.
You don't go in. I don't know for sure. You don't necessarily go a bunch of open mics. You don't like really just tell.
Never.
I want to do this. I'm TYRUS. I'm funny already.
My own venue. Yeah, I design my own flyers. Not paying nobody for any of that.
Is it more of is it more business oriented how you doing that, or is it just like something you just seek? I want to do this, so I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, just that. The very first show I ever did, right? I reached out to a couple of people that offered, and offers several services, for flyers, production, venues, even, even down to, of course, the DJ, security, and all that kind of stuff. And I realized a lot of what people were offering to give me for what they were charging me wasn't all of what I wanted. You get what I'm saying? And so it forced me to kind of go back to the drawing board and say, how can I do this? Can I do this myself? Like, if I'm that particular and anal about, I probably shouldn't say anal because so pause.
Yeah, pause.
But I'm so particular about. I'm so particular. I'm trying. Let me drink some water. But I'm so particular about how I want something to go. That the best way to get exactly what I want out of it is to do it myself. And so I kind of taught myself some things that I did not know at the time. And so that's why once I feel like I mastered it to the point of where I wanted it, I didn't need to reach out to anybody else. And so it just it happened that way. And so I literally will in one moment say, it's time for a comedy show, or it's time for X, Y, and Z. Let me go ahead and map this out. Let me see what it would look like, what I want this to be about. Where do I want it? And then I go from there.
I asked that question because, people, comedians, or I had EJ on here on one time. He was saying that, about value.
Mm-hmm. Comedian, EJ?
Yeah, okay. EJ Rogers. Well, it's two of them. So.
Yeah, EJ Mack, I know
EJ Rogers.
Yeah.
EJ Mack. I actually saw him.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago. I had heard, and this is, I know, like I said, I'm just a realist. I don't care. I had heard, people said, well, yeah, he's not that funny. And I'm not going to lie, he was pretty funny to me. Now,
yeah.
He had I think everybody that night had some dry spots, but overall, I liked the material. I wasn't expecting to, because you keep hearing this person not, this person not.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I went to it, he did pretty well. Yeah. Like, they all did decent. It was the two closers did really, really well. They was out of town.
Yeah.
But yeah, they all did decent. I was like, I like his stuff, but that's why you can't go for people say.
Exactly.
But no, I was talking about EJ Rogers. EJ Mack. I don't know him personally, but EJ Rogers.
He actually just reached out to me recently. So
Mac?
Yeah. I have never been to.
You got openers on your show or anything like that? Or is it you?
I kind of do, and well, I wasn't going to, but a lot of people have been reaching out, like wanting to be a part of it. So I may open it up a little bit. I like to give people an opportunity. Give them a job.
You just won. Chill out, man. What? You just won Comedian of the Year. So like me as a comedian, I would just want to attach myself to you. That's me personally. I'm like, well, he just won this, so. And you got a bunch of supporters.
Yeah.
They all coming out.
Right.
You sell out a show. I'm performing in front of a sold out show. That's how I would think of it. Just me personally.
Right.
I'm not a comedian though, so I don't want to get into that. I got your own wars going on. Everybody's funny. Haha. LOL.
Serious in these streets.
LMAO.
Yeah. You about to get a hashtag.
Oh, y'all got me laughing my ass
Keep Maine out. Yeah.
But I feel like for me, I have me being medium, me talking to different people and interviewing different people. I try to, if I can't talk to you, I'll talk through in my thinking aloud and stuff. But I try to be as real as possible with stuff like that. So I don't mind saying the person's name or saying how I feel, because normally if they have a problem, they'll call me. They probably won't though, but they'll call and say whatever. But I try to be as transparent as possible, because I feel like even in podcasting, there's a bunch of people that do podcasts and stuff.
Right.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
I don't have no podcasting award. You don't hear me talking about that though. Like, I just.
Did you nominate yourself? Why didn't you?
I was too busy working. I'm not gonna lie. I also have a job. I work a lot too.
Because the nominations, you could only do it like in one day.
I think so. I don't know. I don't know. How was it? Like, was it once a month?
Yeah, it was a good little while.
Okay, on one of them, I don't know which one. No, okay, on one of them, somebody I guess people nominate you. I guess
you mean like the first year?
I don't know.
Like, okay.
The first year, I didn't know about the first year. Yeah, I didn't know about the first year.
Okay.
I was in a new spot, so I wasn't really in tune on social media like that. Now this year, I think the reason I didn't do it, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. I just can't remember.
Yeah, okay.
I think I was in it and then I wasn't, so I don't know. I lost track of time. Let's say whatever it is. But I will say this, for me, you know, I guess for what I'm doing, I'll prefer to interview people that win awards versus, because if I win it, I can't interview myself. I mean, I can sit there with the trophy and talk about it, you know, I guess. But honestly, you know, for me, certain things is not going to, it depends. Yeah. Like, I know it's different fields. But in this field, like talking about media and podcasting, I don't think it's nothing that's going to be able to validate, like, hey, this is you. And I say the same thing. It's like that in multiple fields. Like, anybody that feel a way about you when a comedian interview and they feel like they funnier,
right?
You're not funny now because he won an award? Like, you know, if you already feel you're funny,
less funny now. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Does this take anything away from who you are?
Like in the last 10 minutes, you just got less funny. You can
never be booked in the city again. You didn't win. Oh, loser! Get him out of here.
And I feel like, you know, I get that feel because it is a few of y'all that are very, very talented. It's probably more than a few. Some people are funny comedians. They don't know it yet.
Yeah.
On this side, and people doing their thing, but we all do different stuff and got our different techniques.
Styles,
But I also feel like this. I'm okay with somebody winning every year because, like you, I personally feel like some people need that to keep going.
Yeah.
I can never win anything. I'm going to keep going. You know, you know, my award right now is like you being on here because everybody can't get you on here.
Yeah.
You know, everybody, but I know you respect what I, but you respect it. So the respecting me is like, I can't get no better award than that.
Yeah.
But I can't hold that in the air to nobody.
Right.
You just see it through the work.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not against none of that stuff. But honestly, like I said, it is hard to dig into that. But I feel like, you know, if you know, you know.
Yeah. Once you find your value, nothing can devalue you.
That's all.
And that's really all it is. You're right.
But I'm not a sore loser anyway, because even when I was nominated and I didn't win, and I wanted to interview the people that won, but they live so damn far away. I said, well, damn, they're not in Augusta.
Yeah.
So I went to the next best thing, and I think it's the boom bap. And once we can line stuff up, I'm cool with that, because like my thing is always putting things out in the ether. It's not about main. You know, and that's people's problem too. Everything about them. You know, it can't. You not even like that. It's not about. You got the TYRUS Tillman show, TYRUS Tillman production, but some of that stuff it don't involve you.
Yeah,
it's other people.
Right.
But you know, I digress.
People lose sight of that, and I absolutely feel that way about just about everything that I do. Right. For instance, I think that some people's ego would not allow them to, you know, come and be on one of my shows, because it's not their show. You know, if I'm not headlining, you know, I ain't coming.
Listen, but let me tell you about. Let me tell you about logic. Okay?
Yeah,
and it's just me. Like I said, maybe I'm thinking too logical. Right. I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I'm the funniest comedian. I feel like I'm funnier than the people. I'm saying people because there was multiple people that won comedian year this year.
Yeah. I'm
funnier than the people that won the award. One of them is throwing a show.
Yeah.
I know for a fact it's gonna be sold out because it's him. I'm not gonna hate on you. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna say, hey, can I get on that bill?
Yeah.
What we doing?
Cause I'm gonna upstage you.
And that's my goal is to try to. But even that, let's take that out of it. My goal is to show your people, hey, I'm funny also. Yeah. It's not about upstaging you. I'm funny also.
Yeah.
So that's the point.
I belong here too.
But support me as well.
Yeah.
And thank you, big homie, for you know doing what you're doing. Now and also I'm looking at you like, damn, you know what? This motherfucker, he done won. He had 2 years in a row. He ain't doing no open mics.
Yeah.
He ain't doing this, all right? But he throwing his own show, own production, making money making more than I would make anyway at the open mics anyway. They're going, it's like, I would be like, yo, can we sit down? What you eat? Mm-hmm. Let's go there real quick. I want to buy that.
Yeah.
I'm investing in my career, But I think people would prefer to complain or to feel sorry for themselves, whatever. And that's not even in comedian, that's just in general.
Yeah.
But in the comedian sense of what I'm seeing,
and I think do you notice that you never see me do that? Like you never see me talk about who else is doing, what I'm doing out here in these streets. I'll wait.
Nope. Just make it happen.
I don't have those conversations because that ain't where it matters. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like if I come across a post or if I look at, someone's content and I see like hella shares or something, that draws me in to go look at it. So I go look at it and I'll ask myself like, what was it about this that made this so attractive to so many people, right? And then I process that. Is there something I can get from this moment or not? Even if I think it's trash, horrible, stupid, why did you put that out there? But you know what I'm saying? Even if that is, they got a lot of recognition for it or whatever. So what was it about that? Let me analyze it, right? But it would never be enough for me to go and make a post or even have a conversation with someone and say, yeah, they talking about X, Y, and Z, but I did all these shows and I'm the best. I'm the king, King Kong ain't got nothing on me. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never just been that person because contrary to popular belief, I never wanted like all the fame. I never wanted to be the guy that everybody knows because the expectations that come with that is rough sometimes. I've been through some real life shit over the past 10 years, in my personal life, my family life and just the amount of loss and so forth. And sometimes I don't want to be bothered by anybody, that's expecting the comedian of the year, TYRUS. Sometimes I just want to be TYRUS from Richmond Villas, from Woodlake, from Butler, from Morgan Road. I just want to be TYRUS that, that just kicks it with someone. You know what I'm saying? So to be quite honest, I don't get into those conversations. But when I see it, I'm kind of offended because I'm like, well, are you challenging me? What are you saying? Like, what's up? Like, do I need to remind somebody that I'm still that?
That what's up was kind of,
that
was a straight what's up.
So yeah.
That's a straight, you gotta relax now.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit get real. You know what I mean? Not me. Like, we can go there, B. Like, yeah, my boy from New York, but all right, all right.
What you got going on?
We can go there. We can go there on that John. That's more Jersey, right? Okay, chill.
Philly, right. Philly.
Yo, Philly. Okay, that John. But but I see that and I'm like, did they want a reaction from me? Because like what we're not gonna do is do diss tracks and stuff like that. And I don't even think that they think of that. But you mentioned something earlier, and I think that was the one thing that I didn't consider. Is that sometimes people are just in a different place. In that moment, they need that. Sometimes in that moment, I might have just lost out on a show or something, or the money that I was expecting didn't come through or something like that, or this was a miss, whatever it is I was planning. And in this moment, I need people to build me up. I need to hear from people, you're the best, Rocky.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or I probably took a serious moment. But I think that sometimes
you're on to something. You're going good.
I know I'm a really backhand. But I think that sometimes when you find yourself in those moments, you need people to build you up. You need someone to, and it ain't even about validating. You just need somebody to lift you up. Yeah. And I wish that more people just pick up the phone though, because I'm sure that there's a group out there somewhere in your circle that can talk to you and build you up, and if you just need, maybe a show or anything, there's somebody will book you, even if you can't do your own thing, like you can find your way into the circle of winners, so that you can be lifted up.
Okay. So, yeah, that's one way to look at it, man. That was a good monologue. You know what I'm saying? Clap it up for you.
This guy.
Clap it up, man. People love it. Come on. It's a long clap button, by the way. But yeah. So, and this show here, and you say you're writing nothing down, so you don't have nothing, I guess, pre-planned. But I would assume. I'm gonna tell you what I think. Let me just go from there, because show May 20th, right?
May 20th,
May
my
20th.
36th birthday as well.
Where's that?
It's at Icons, North Leg. It's also a gender reveal. So it's a comedy show and gender reveal all together.
Gotcha. Last time you came here, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. If I ain't mistaken. I don't know if I could be tripping. And from me knowing you, the things you say, I always thought you identified as something different. I could be trolling. I don't know. I didn't really ask you. I never came out and say, hey, are you this? Are you that?
Yeah.
All right, so I want to say about February, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, I started seeing posts of you saying you had you have a child on. I'm gonna say child on the way.
Yeah.
I said I just kept scrolling, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I laughed
Did
at it.
you really? You was like,
Nah,
this
you know,
guy.
it's you. I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah.
You know, he said it funny.
Yeah.
This guy here, kid on the way.
Get
Come
out
on.
of here. Yeah.
That would involve
A
you having to
kid.
get into a vagina. You know?
Yeah.
Well, all right, whatever. All right, so you know, passing on, and you kept talking about a little bit. I said, all right, he taking the joke a little too far now. No, TYRUS usually funny. He hit
Did
it,
he just
you know, hit
post
it
an
quick.
ultrasound? Like, where
Yeah,
you
you
get
going
this
a little
from?
too
Like,
far.
yeah.
April
Is
came.
that a heartbeat?
I'm like, all right, it's April. It's after April 1st now.
Yeah.
You know,
It's no
let's
longer
tighten
April
up.
Fools. Yeah.
Then I hear about a show coming out. I said, okay, I see now.
Yeah.
This is his show.
Yeah.
He wrote a stand up to getting
he
the
was
girl
building up
pregnant.
for the-
You know, to being funny.
Yeah, this is gonna be the main attraction.
But then when you text me and you text me and I said, okay, he mentioned this is kind of serious now.
yeah.
That's how soon it was for me. Like it was
That's
like
how it's
literally last
been feeling.
week.
It's been feeling serious.
I was like, did it feel serious? Nah.
Yes.
But
Yes.
So,
feels, not feels.
how did that work? Like,
Wow.
like I don't know, like,
So-
like you was on another team and then
So to take it back to I think the very first interview, you know, in conversation that we had back in 21, right? I think I remember saying that I don't have a lifestyle, I have an orientation or something like that. And I said that you know, like I don't have a gay lifestyle, right? I'm not out here, you know, flaming rainbow flags and colors and all of that.
Yeah.
No, nothing to the LGBTQ community.
pride
but
parade.
yeah, but that's, you know, I don't live out that lifestyle, but my orientation, at least then, was gay, right? So
at least then.
at least then, you know. So shit done got real. So inflation, you know, sexuality, like, you know, just everything. So condoms are high. So I said then that also through the pandemic was the first time that I had actually like tried vagina. Like, and I was serious, and people didn't
Thought
think
that was
I
a joke.
People didn't think that I was serious then either, because I put that in my comedy show then in 21. And it was a big hit. And I was like, oh yeah, the pandemic, you know, I'm the pandemic coochie bandit.
Wait, what? I want to stop you there just for a second.
Yeah.
Now, since you're saying you were serious now, 'cause I'm pretty sure people want to ask this question. What in your mind made you want to do that? What was it about the pandemic? You said, I'm just going to try this. See what all the guys are going crazy about.
I thought we was all gonna die.
And you just said, before I go, I got to... Yo,
Like, I didn't want to be at the gate, and right before they about to send me to hell for being gay, you know, I'd be like, wait, I tried. I swear, I tried it. I did. I tried it. I swear I did. I was raw even. Like, please, I tried. And then he's like, oh, you did, my child. Yes, I did. Like, I made an honest effort.
Honest effort?
Yeah, I made an honest effort. I did the whole 9. Like, I was down there and everything. So, but no, for real, like, I didn't know how things were going to play out through the pandemic. You know, it was heavy. Like, when we were in the height of COVID, like, people were dying, all age groups. You know, let's not forget, I sing at funerals a lot. You know what I'm saying? During COVID, I was at funerals every week, sometimes 2 and 3 times a week. And so when you see that much death, and, you know, people are still itching at that time, was still itching to get outside and do stuff and go places, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, it was like, what experience have you not had that if you died today, you would regret having? And in that moment, I was like, vagina.
You ever play basketball before? Like, I mean, I'm thinking about things you probably could have did. I'm cool with the choice.
So yeah,
that's a good choice.
I've played basketball, you know, football. I told you the story last time about when I tried to build that relationship with my dad, and you know, I tried to go out for football, and I broke my wrist playing flag football, and you know, that was a wrap. So I was like, yep, nope, can't do that. You know, so what else can I do that, you know, I still, you know, got the tools for and ain't got to buy, you know? Because at that time it was in the height of COVID. I couldn't go to the store. So I was like, you know, this is fun. So I reached out to somebody, you know, a chick who, because, okay, let me also be very, very clear. Through the years, there's been no shortage of women that have been willing to like have sex.
Talk your talk.
So like, let me be clear, all right? So like, I think since middle school, and I think I've even talked about this, like since middle school, like I've had friend girls. Damn, this probably finna change a lot of conversations I done had to have with some of my brothers out there. But this I'm coming from a place of love. Like, I, so way back in middle school, you know, I used to be the ones that the fellas come to and be like, "Hey, Tyrus, hook me up with your homegirl." And I'm like, you know what? And I done had to go to some of my homegirls and be like, "Girl, I know he ugly a little, he ain't got it, but give him a try." You know, some of them are still together today, because of what I put together. Like I was solid. That's why I've always had homeboys and homegirls. Like, orientation be damned, I've been that guy. So. I put a lot of people together back then, but at the same time, some of them same homegirls or whatever, we could be at their house or whatever, and they just pull their shit out and be like, "Tyrus, what this look like?" This look, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, we just, like, what do you, I don't know. Like, does it hurt? I don't know. I shave, Tyrus, I do it right, I guess, so I was, so I've been around it, but I never had any attraction to, to women like that. So, like, I've been around vagina, I've witnessed childbirth and everything in between, but like it wasn't ever anything that like the streets had to worry about. Like, they felt that they girls were safe around me, "Don't leave you around me, true player for real." What was it? What's the verse? Was it Usher? But for the longest, like I felt nothing. So I really honestly didn't even know that if I tried, like if it would work.
Oh my God.
I didn't know, because I'm like, I've been around vagina, like chicks and everything, been throwing it on me, tossing it on me, twerking on me at all my shows and events and shit. Like, what's the worst that could happen? So
you just like it, that's all.
Yeah, that part real bad actually now. So I really had to like convince myself that it was okay as long as I was honest, right? That was always my number one thing, is like, if you go and try this, like, be honest though. Like, don't be one of the guys that you usually lay up with, that lie to their women. Like, you be honest, Tyrus. You set the example of how to do this.
You done been through it enough.
I've done it enough, right?
So
you know how this goes. So you set the example. Be a stand-up guy if you're gonna be a guy. So so I did, and that experience, with a young lady, back in the height of the pandemic, was a beautiful experience. Like, I enjoyed the moment, she enjoyed the moment, and we continued on a couple of times.
Oh, so it was good. That's a good thing.
It really was, yeah. And I think that the one thing that I got out of that, and I think I do know, and I think I've probably even said this before, the older I've gotten, the more my appetite has expanded, because I've allowed it to. Like, I've allowed myself to be open enough to take experiences as they come, right? And not be so closed-minded. I've always been a free-spirited, free-willed individual ever since a child. I talked about that a lot. So it's, when you think about it from that aspect, I don't know why it's so hard for people to believe that this was possible, because I've kind of been showing the groundwork leading up to this, because, as your appetite changes in life, and, you start experiencing many different things, and, I've experienced a lot of loss, great loss, you know what I'm saying? Your mind evolves. And as your mind evolves, your emotions evolve. As your emotions evolve, your actions evolve. And so the actions have just led to kind of me now, a year ago, being open to fatherhood and wanting that experience, and feeling that I'm worthy enough of that experience of fatherhood, of parenthood.
I guess, how did you then, I guess, go about picking whether the right woman? Because I'm like anybody, not attracted to every single woman.
Yeah,
I mean, every woman not attractive, obviously.
Definitely not. Actually,
not too much
less
women,
attracted
not too
to
much on them,
most.
because I don't want to, they say they hate women when we say stuff like that. So
Well, I can say stuff that most straight men, obviously can't. It's a lot of women out there that think they're the ones. I've seen them from a lot of different angles, and I've been, I've been in close proximity of a lot, and I know no, sis.
not this time.
No, not this guy. Yeah,
No,
not
this time,
ever.
yeah.
No, sorry.
Not ever. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So, so a lot went into my thought process, not because of the caliber of woman, but because of the characteristics and mental, family background, all that kind of stuff. Because this is a human that you're forming, but each child gets 50% of the mom and 50% of the dad, and you can't control which 50% that's in there. You get what I'm saying? So not so much of finding the perfect woman, because I knew that this was not going to be a long-term romance, right? Like we're not going to be together. Like I needed it to be someone
Real
who
quick,
understood
so
that.
it's not life changing. You're not that whatever experiences you experienced during that time didn't just pull you to this side. Just like this is what I'm rocking with right now. I like this right now.
Yeah, nah. I like this in addition to.
Got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Got
that's what the experience became. And honestly, I didn't think I would continue. I was just like, I want to have this experience again, just in case, you know.
I'm asking it just to know, and I'm pretty sure people gonna like these questions, I guess. But like, just being cognizant of that, do you have to be cognizant of that? Because obviously there are some women that you may be attracted to, but you know, like, okay, well, they don't want to deal with somebody who's also doing this, that, and third. Some women just that's like a no for them.
But you'd be surprised at how many women I've learned now are perfectly fine with that. Like they would allow me
maybe those men wasn't lying.
So
no, let me stop.
Wait a minute.
Let me stop. I'm sorry.
Like,
go ahead.
So damn. So a lot of these women, and this has probably opened my eyes on a whole nother different level. And it actually is working. It got me working on some other things, like right now, going forward, some other projects to kind of kick off. But it's opened my eyes to the fact that there's a lot of women out here that would accept whatever terms I present to them as long as we can be together. And that sounds so weird because like I'm someone who's been very transparent about their lifestyle, right? Or their orientation and yeah, my lifestyle, how I live, and how free and open I've been about the things that I've done, and sometimes in a very graphic sense, right? And so they know that, right? And I don't hide, I've never hid any of who I am and what I do and how I move, but they will still say, you know, yeah, I get all of that, but you know, we can be together. Like I'm cool with that. I'm, you know, as long as you just stay honest and you know whatever. And I'm like, damn, that actually exist? Like, do you not value yourself enough to say, okay, Tyrus, like, I'm cool with being that chick with you, but you got to leave all that other stuff alone. Like, you know, you got to walk straighter, you know, slow down your walk, Tyrus. Like, you know, put the bags down. Like, just don't, you know, stop drinking out of a straw, you know, like, these are my conditions. Like, I'll accept your conditions up to this extent, but you got to accept mine too. Not a lot of women are out there doing that. They just saying, okay, whatever terms you want, I'm with that. And that's crazy to me because, like, do you not realize your worth? Like, who you are? Like, at the end of the day, like, I can't give life. I can help produce life. You know what I'm saying? But I can't give life. Like, you're the prize. Yeah. When you women out there, you know, you're the prize. So stop allowing men to dictate the terms. You know, now I get it. It needs to be mutual, right? But I think that that's kind of how a lot of women have ended up in situations, relationships, marriages, that they didn't really bargain for. But it's because in the beginning, they just accepted everything that he brought to the table in whatever terms. And that's just who he is. You know what I'm saying? So, but for me, I know that I can't allow that. So like, I can't see myself in a long-term relationship with a woman because my appetite at some point, even if I can go a while, you know, without men, at some point, that's who I've been for at least 30 something years of my life. So I can't imagine that, you know, just one day I can't possibly wake up and be like, you know what? I'm going to go down to the basketball court, not to play.
Yo, what the your turn on to get serious and unserious is like unmatched.
So I don't, you know, so but that's real. Like, I don't know. Like, you know, yeah, I might tell you, you know, I might really do love this woman and I might really do want to make something work. But, you know, one day, it might just be that day, you know, shit. I don't know. You know, so if I know that now, why would I commit to being with someone and just say, you know, oh yeah, overnight I'm done with all of that? Like, I've not felt that yet. Is it possible? Maybe. I don't know. You know, shit, I'm 35, about to be 36. So, you know, you could have asked me 10 years ago, would I, you know, be looking at having a kid in 6 months, less than 6 months now? And I would have been like, hell no. Nah. Like, I love not having kids. I love being single and, you know, being able to go whenever I want to. When I pack one bag, my whole house is packed. You know what I'm saying? So life for me, you couldn't have asked me about being a dad. You know, wait, how are we going to do it? You know, IVF, like, you know, artificial insemination or something. Like, what? How would I get it here? You know? And
I'm asking it just, I mean, you alluded to it, but you did it the old fashioned way, I'm assuming.
The traditional old fashioned come here way. Yeah.
The come here?
Yeah, I said that because I was watching a flick right as I got mentally prepared. And I was like,
that's not a thing. Don't do that. Don't ever.
Well, I know now because she was like, the fuck? And I was like, oh, no. She was
A
like,
little too aggressive, man. Come on,
yeah,
man.
she was like, relax. I was like, damn, that's probably not okay.
Yeah, porn is definitely a very false misrepresentation of what sex is.
It's entertaining. So
Definitely.
yeah, I've learned
Definitely.
now that there's some things that I thought that I knew. I realized I got probably from a flick or something, and I probably shouldn't have tried it. But I mean, I did.
Hey, man.
Whatever.
What's done is done, right?
We still got here, got it done.
Let me ask you this: like,
But yes, very traditional way,
the old-fashioned way, and this also this is the real thing. So this is not
the real thing.
a part of a comedy sketch skit. This is not a lead-up joke to next year, April Fool's Day.
Yeah,
This has nothing to do with your May 20th show that's going to sell out and do great. Nothing to do with that.
Thank you. None of that though. This was an actual planned pregnancy. Like a planned pregnancy, not just me. Because some people also was like, "Yeah, I told you, playing around in the cootie cat was gonna get you." This ain't that. This was calculated. It was planned. Two adults that literally came to an agreement on producing a child, and she was open, and she's been amazing. And we're now, in the second trimester. We're chucking along. At about, we're a day away from 15 weeks. We're doing October.
Clap it up for you, man. That's a real dad. You know the time, how far you are from this.
I know the day
this is for real, for real.
I know the day we conceived. I know where we was at. We was at my house in case,
Well, what's up,
man?
man?
They like that deep voice. I'd be like, yeah, I'm that nigga. Yeah. I'm dad.
Well, let me ask you.
Dad.
With that, like, so and I don't know how you want to answer this or if you want to, what distinction was it? I guess I don't know if you can answer this or if it matters or whatever, but because people might want to know this too, with whoever you chose to have a baby with, why that person?
Yeah, because she was willing and understanding of what I wanted.
Gotcha.
She was willing to accept and agree to what I was wanting, and not to make it sound transactional, but I had very specific terms, right? And very specific ways that I wanted this to play out, that we were able to talk through and come to an agreement on together. And her willingness, actually, she came back to me several times because we had a conversation about it, kind of just in a very general sense. And then I kind of just let it go, and we kind of kept, and we would just kind of, keep talking about, regular life stuff here and there. But then she came back and was like, hey, were you really serious? Like, do you really want this? I would love to do this for you. Like, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, I was serious, we'll see what happens. Then a couple of weeks, she was like, so, like, when you ready to start? Like, I was like, damn, you just want to, like, is this something else? Like, you want to do it. Yeah. Oh, okay. Like, you ready right now? So, I did.
Well, her life,
all right, girl.
It has, and I don't know if you know, but because you actually put out there that this is the person.
Mm-hmm.
Has her life changed any, like?
Very much so.
I mean, people nosy.
Yes.
You're a popular guy.
So she sends me every friend request that she has now gotten ever since, like, I publicly, shared and tagged who she was. And so some of them have been quite weird and strange. But that was why I was kind of reluctant to publicize who she was. Like, had it been just completely left up to me, I probably would not have at all, right? Because I and this is kind of what I told her, because in the beginning I was like, I don't want you to feel, that I'm ashamed of you or of this that we're doing or any of that. I just know people, and my business is surrounded by understanding how people move, right? Mm-hmm. It's how I gauge how my shows go and all this kind of stuff. So, like, I read people, I know people, and I understand what her being publicized would have meant. It would have meant that people would pry. People would have opinions. People would probably say some nasty things to her. How you let a gay nigga hit? Like, it's a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? She has other children, so maybe some of her other baby daddies would have felt some kind of way, or whatever. Who knows what that conversation would have looked like. And I didn't want, especially now that you're carrying my seed, like you're carrying my child. Damn, that sounds weird to say, but yeah.
Sound very, very, very manly.
Yeah,
very
definitely.
Mature.
Yeah. So I don't want to bring, any stresses to the pregnancy or anything like that, especially we were still in the first trimester. Most women now know, or most women know that the first trimester is a real touch and go sometimes, higher risk of miscarriages and all that kind of stuff. And so I didn't want to bring anything that was negative into the equation because I was so absolutely, and I am so absolutely filled with just joy and happiness and expectation that I didn't want to let too many people into this bubble to put a damper on that, because I know how people are. So I was slow to reveal who she was because I didn't want, people to complicate things. People can be, man, so
Yeah.
I knew what to expect. She really didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
I live in the spotlight. She doesn't. You get what I'm saying? So like I was telling her like, hey, I don't think we should really, and she was like, I don't care, and I'm like, all right, So we slowly started rolling that ball out. And as we did, lo and behold, a lot of what I knew was gonna happen started happening. And so I'm even now I have to constantly say to her, like, the people that say things to you, that ask questions, to you, they would never say or ask those things to me. They never will.
Yep.
They don't. And it's funny because every time I say that, she gets something else, or she'll screenshot a message to me, or she'll screenshot a friend request to me, and I'm like, I told you that,
Yep.
but and I don't respond by, putting them on blast or, pulling up or any of that like that, because they're not gonna steal this moment.
Gotcha.
I got 6 months to go to take in this moment, and then boom, I'm gonna be a dad with a child that's living and alive, and I got so much that I need to pour into that child, right? So I won't have time for that ever. But it's happening just like I knew it kind of would.
Though.
Yeah, and so people, and I say to her, tell them to reach out to me, holler at me. And they don't, but so that's why I was reluctant. But this is where we are. I understand, and even some of, like, I'm not naive enough to think that because I'm just TYRUS Tillman of the TYRUS Tillman Show that people are just going to be happy and that people just aren't going to have an opinion in X, Y, and Z. Like, they're going to have an opinion and they're entitled to those opinions. And people, this is different for a lot of people. It's not every day that the gay guy on their timeline that's only talked about,
gay stuff.
Damn. Yeah. Gay stuff. Yeah.
I know what to say.
It is what, there's no better way. It's just, gay stuff. Gay boy. So,
gay stuff, yeah.
Have just talked about gay stuff for, years. It's not every day that gay guy actually comes up and say, oh yeah, by the way, I have been with some of y'all wives or girlfriends or, whatever, we actually did get drunk that night and do something. So, so I get that for a lot of people, like they're confused. Like, how does that work? But it's everything that I do, I try to turn it into an inspiring educational moment one way or another. Right. I'm teaching the guys that, you call me what you want, but yeah, I'm still getting them.
Still getting them. Call me what you want.
Yeah. Like, but, so,
you mentioned people, ooh, how people are.
Yeah.
And just, how people are.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel? I know you're not there yet, but I'm pretty sure you thinking about it. No orientation, but lifestyle.
Yeah.
Whatever that may look like, months from now, whatever. And raising a child.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, for some reason, I don't know why, I think the gender matters at that point. I guess if it's a boy, it's like, whoa. If it's a girl, I guess it's okay, right? I don't know, but that's as long as it's he or she is healthy, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
But you're raising a child, you got your own lifestyle. Have you thought about what that looks like for you and for the child?
Yeah, absolutely. And I've put a lot of thought into it, right? And it's because I'm no different than any other parent out there in the regards of there's things about parents that children don't know, will never know. It's not a right time for them to know yet. So maybe there's some things to come that's going to be revealed about some of the parents out there to their children that the time just hadn't come yet for that, right? We pick and choose, I think, who we want to be to our children. How do we want to be viewed by our children? But then when it comes to our life experiences and so forth, there's a lot of things that people choose not to, disclose to their children. Maybe not right now. Maybe that's something that they plan to do later. So I treat my lifestyle and orientation the exact same way when it comes to my child. Like, my ultimate goal is to be the best damn daddy that I can be. I think about my relationship with my dad and the things that I missed out on as a child, that he missed an opportunity to be when I was coming up. And so in my mind, I want to make sure I do those things,
Gotcha.
I want to make sure I right some wrongs and so forth. When my mom, like, that was my absolute best friend. She got it wrong on a lot of things in my eyes as a child, what I'm saying, watching my mom. And so those are some things that I want to avoid and so forth, right? So I don't think that I have to have a special expectation with how I raise my child than any other parent, because on that same line, how do those straight heterosexual, parents raise their children with some of the things that they've done, some of the grimy ways they've been, some of the moms has been sluts, and so forth. They don't just automatically say to, to their daughter, yeah, mommy was busting it open for everybody who would stop by, to the dads, do you automatically let your kid know that you was a dope boy? Like, out, selling God knows what, you know what I'm saying? Does your children know that maybe some of those drugs might have caused an overdose that maybe you don't even have any idea? Like you could have contributed to someone dying, you know what I'm saying? Like, so how do you have those conversations with your kids? So I don't think that I have to pull from a special book because I'm gay. I think that it's going to be an appropriate time to have that conversation with my child. And I would absolutely be open and just as transparent I am with a bunch of my viewers and supporters that, don't know me from my real life to my, stage life. I'm going to have to be that same way with my child. Like I believe in being open and honest and transparent. I think that that's the biggest flex that I can probably have in life.
Yeah, I clap it up for you, man. That was a great answer, man.
Thank you.
I ain't cutting him off. I ain't talking like that. We ain't gonna do that, man.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that. That was a great answer. That was a
Thank
great
you.
answer.
I believe that, but a lot of people have been asking that. And I think it's because, it's non-traditional. But everything about my life has been non-traditional.
Well, I know for me, when I ask questions like that, I typically ask because I know that people watching want to hear that answer. You know, because how you are, like, you pick and choose, like, what you going to give to people and what you're not.
Yeah.
And them watching this, they looking for certain questions to be asked because they want certain answers.
Yeah.
Something I had to ask because you spoke on it anyway, you know. Yeah. But when you come in and you sit down, and we started very light. We started, it just got heavy. And I did that. I could have started that way.
Right.
But then we'd be joking for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Then
Exactly.
I don't know how long you're going to joke. And you throw your shade in a weird way. So you might, that might give you too much time.
Yeah. Right.
Seriously, out the way.
Never know. I knew if I come out.
started that way,
stuff.
We'd be good to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what does what do, because I know you value family. You just told me, I got family day and things of that nature, which is I think is an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Especially hearing you talk about your family and your dad and just coming up. What does family think of this?
Oh my God. They are so excited. So I'm the baby of my families. My mom's side, my dad's side. I'm the youngest grandchild, the youngest child. And so that goes literally for both my maternal and paternal side of my families. And so I've been everybody's baby in a sense for, 35 years. So with me not having children, even my siblings, my oldest brother actually tomorrow will be 48. I'm about to be 36. So there's a big gap between me and a lot of my first cousins and my siblings, right? And I think that because of that, this is a even more special moment for my family, right? Because I'm the baby having the baby, right? But then also because of who I am to my family. Like, yeah, I'm a big deal to a lot of people out in the streets and to supporters and, fans or, whatever you want to call people, my friends. I'm just as big to my family. Like, and they give me that. And when I say family, I'm literally talking about like my entire family. And so they have just been so damn supportive, but they also, some of them struggled with believing me too, because even one of my aunts, she was like, you a damn fool, stop lying to them damn people. Everybody keep calling my damn phone, asking me, is your nephew having a baby? And I keep telling them, hell no, that boy ain't been in no damn pussy. Can I say that?
Yeah, you can say what you want to say.
And I was like, well, Auntie, I appreciate that, but I have, oops, so actually, yeah, I've been in the pussy. So then it got me in a chokehold real bad, Auntie. And she was like, what? Hell, you damn mean. And so my family has been very supportive, but they struggled in the beginning. Some of them, I honestly thought my dad was about to die when I first told him. Like I was really like, I got scared instantly. Like, Daddy, say something. He was like, his breathing got real shallow. Like, he walked out the room, actually.
Surprised me every 5 damn years.
Yeah, this damn boy gonna be the fucking death of me. Like, first football, and that is, So now you telling me you about to be a gay dad. Like, fuck, with who, TYRUS? So that's kind of how it went. Like, he literally But he probably was expecting it to be some queer as folk type shit like that. Is what now you about to marry a damn boy, raise a baby. Absolutely not, by the way. But so it was a little, it was shocking to them. Some it took a while to kind of come around and realize that I was really serious. But once they got over that initial shock, the outpouring of love and support has definitely been absolutely what anybody I think should have in this moment. And so they're all right there ready.
Yeah, I just imagine your dad like, man, listen, if it ain't one thing, it's another with this damn boy.
Honestly, I tell people all the time, like, I was birthed into a family of comedians, first of all, and they do it so effortlessly. Like, they are just funny as shit people. My mom was super funny. My dad is super funny. But my dad, I've talked about how we didn't always have this relationship that we have, to where we could just talk about life or anything, right? Like, we just had such a toxic start, right? But today, and in that moment when I went to my dad and was like, hey, so, you got another grandchild on the way. And he was like, oh shit, who pregnant? And I was like, well, you don't know her, but it's a young lady. And he already started looking like, what you talking about? And I was like, so I got a kid on the way. And he was like,
I'm not following.
Yeah, what do you mean, Tyrus? And I was like, so I was like, so, I tell my stepmom, she's in the room and she's just cheesing and rocking back and forth like, oh, Hercules. My prayers work. The prayers of the righteous avail us much, He done put the pocketbook down. Hot damn. So my dad is, he's just not following. He's like, and I was like, so, I told y'all I was, really serious about wanting a kid. And I started back in December and, and then in January, we actually conceived and we just got confirmation that, we're pregnant. And he was like, how? And I was like, well, the regular way. And he was like, so you telling me that you've been fucking, Tyrus? He said that. And I was like, yeah, the regular traditional way. Yeah. So he was like, and just walked out the room. So I'm like,
go process
shit. That. Yeah. So I look at my stepmom and she's like, he's just, he's overwhelmed.
He probably do a math in his head,
yes,
carry the one.
Yes. So he's stuck, So he's really stuck. And I gave him a little minute and I'm in the room. My stepmama, she's just excited. She was like, this is the happiest day ever. And we're so excited, because, we're solid. We always have been. And so I waited a little while and I went out to the living room and Daddy was just sitting in there. He had took his hat off and he was just rubbing his head. I was like, shit. Dad, let me check your blood pressure. I was scared. Oh shit. So I was like, well, Dad, you got something to say? He was like, well, shit, Tyrus, let me catch my breath. And I was like, okay, sorry. Shit, you the one got quiet. So, I sat down and it was just pure silence. If anybody out there knows my dad, he's this, big burly guy. He's a man's man. My daddy is just a man's man. He ain't fun of shit. So, we just sit there in silence and I wouldn't say nothing. So, after a while he was like, well, goddamn, some bitch. He would just say stuff like that, but still he wasn't ready to have the conversation. So I was just sitting there just, feeling like, I just told him I got expelled from school type shit, waiting for his response. So he just said, I just be damn. So I'm just like, okay, once we get through all these side effects and shit. So he finally was just like, he was like, so you for real, Tyrus? And I was like, well, yeah. And he was like, well, he said, well, I got you back, 100%, whatever you need, I'm damn proud, I guess we got another Tillman coming, and he really processed it and just started going into, who is she? Let me see her. Pull up on Facebook. Let me see her face. I know she out there somewhere. Who are parents? We're a family. When we get to meet her, whoa, we're not getting married, Dad. Pump your damn brakes. I just went raw. That's it. So so he got real excited and he's really been he's been enjoying the ride. My whole family, but definitely my dad. It's a different feeling. He says all the time, he always called me, I'm his baby boy, but he'll say, yeah, my baby having a baby.
There you go.
It feels just unreal. Yeah.
Well, May 20th, you got the show.
Yeah.
And at that show, will also be the gender reveal.
There will be the gender reveal. Da 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 da.
This is a weird question to ask you.
Oh shit!
I'm knocking your dad now,
Yeah.
right? God damn it. All right, no, but is there a particular desire when it comes to gender? When it comes to shit. Hey, hold on, time out. For the kid, not for the lifestyle.
Say, but damn, this week, yeah, shit. Next week might be something else. Hell, I want some pussy.
Strictly for the kid.
Say pussy, Tyrus, pussy. What the fuck? I don't know. Might be the basketball court next week. Shit, I don't fucking know. So I absolutely want a boy. Like that's my number one, and I think that most men, you know, and it's not cliche. Like I want that because it's like a legacy, you know. Yeah. I don't want a junior, but he would, you know, probably he would be named after me in a sort of way.
You want to make reels with just the two of us playing in the background or something like that?
Yeah, definitely. Like you know, I want you know basketball with daddy. Like at least I could do it for a 30-second reel because that's it. The rest, like I would definitely have to lean on all my homeboys. You know, gonna have to step up to the plate. Hey, I need all the virtual uncles and all. Because sports is not my shit, okay? Or some of my homegirls, you know, there's a lot of studs out there that's stepping up to the plate as daddies. Studsmans.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah. So,
Uncle them.
Yeah. so we taking all masculinity, okay? Whatever the fuck we can get. Yeah, you got a sports bra on, bring your ass to.
We taking all
masculinity, whatever the fuck you got going on. You angry at your baby daddy? You come too. Yeah, you got some shit. Teach this motherfucker wrestling.
Boy.
So we ain't turning away. No support. We need a village.
Hey, it takes a village.
But yeah, so I think that, you know, just the mere fact that, you know, he would carry my last name into eternity, you know what I'm saying? Unlike, you know, the girls who, you know, potentially could get married or whatever. So more of like a legacy thing. I also want to be able to incorporate my dad's name in a way. So, you know, not that I want a junior, but, you know, yeah. So, but am I just as excited to have a little girl? Absolutely. Whatever he or she is, like, just knowing that this life that I have, there's a child that's so deserving of this that I can't wait for them to experience this love. My family, my friends, you know, my circle. I would be good either way, but yeah, we'll see.
Look, man, super proud of you. You know what I'm saying? Definitely supportive of everything you're doing, everything you got going on.
Thank you.
I'm always proud of you though, but you put a lot of work in over the years. You know what I'm saying? I mean, over a decade worth, you know.
Damn, that sounds different.
A long time, bro. Like you've been pretty working. Yeah. I know you're almost there, bro.
Yeah. Well, I got 4 years.
You coughed twice before.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So watch out, all right?
Who knows what the next decade will hold? Shit. I don't know. Might be married.
Hey, you never know.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. You never know.
Da-da-da-da.
But it's always good talking to you, man. It's
you
dope,
as well.
Dope conversation. I know you don't do interviews often, but I do like when you do my thing. People get to
only with you.
Hey, you know, you gotta go to the best. Best product. You know, best product. You know.
Yeah.
You know what's up. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Strictly interviews though. Strictly interviews.
Right. That's it. Okay.
Interviews.
A lot is changing. Yeah. You know, I ain't even on it no more. Let me hit up my baby mama because this shit is Saturday. Yeah.
Hey, Morning Masters podcast. We out. Appreciate you for coming through, bro.
You're welcome. All love.